All right, Jordan here with a quick science hit for you. Let's jump in. Today we're talking about heat deflection temperature versus temperature resistance. What's the difference? What should I be worried about? What should I consider when buying an epoxy? I'll walk you through it step by step. Heat deflection temperature, or as it's also known, heat distortion temperature, is about the sun and the ambient temperature that you're gonna experience most of the time when you're doing an epoxy project. That's the point at which this epoxy is gonna start to soften. Think about, you could dent it with your fingernail or give it a little bit of like a poke with a screwdriver and it's gonna feel just a little bit softer than it normally does. This heat deflection temperature is actually a standardized test. That is a huge thing here. The ASTM, Automotive Standardized Testing Method. That's where we get our heat deflection temperatures from. So this is usually in the 100 degrees, 130 degrees for most epoxies. Now when it comes to heat deflection temperature, there's no permanent damage here, right? This is actually going to push away a lot of the harmful things that are gonna happen. That's different when we talk about temperature resistance. All right, now let's talk temperature resistance. This, we're talking about catastrophic failure here. Melting, sticky, tacky, gross, permanent damage. You're not getting that project back here. We're in 400, 300, 500 degree temps at this point. Now, a big thing to note with this is there's no standardized test. That means I could put a really, really hot pan onto an epoxy project for 10 seconds, say that it's been 500 degrees, get it out of there, and give that claim to you. So, when it comes to temperature resistance, it's not quite as good of a marker. Now, why do I bring this all up? Well, you asked us about a couple other resins that we had around here. For now, I'm gonna call those Company Y and Company Z. So what does all this mean for you? Well, when we look at this chart, heat deflection temperature, the temperature at which things are gonna happen to it, but it's not gonna be permanently damaged, we've got that. For our new Amazing Clearcast Plus, that's 100 degrees, and for our regular Amazing Clearcast, that's 130. When it comes to temperature resistance, we're up there in those big, big high numbers like you've seen in other companies. With other companies out there, I'll use Company Y and Company Z as an example, they talk about the 500 and the 475 temperature resistance, but what they don't talk about is the standardized heat deflection temperature test. That's why we do this. It's a standardized test that gives you peace of mind and lets you know that your project's gonna be safe. Now, from all of our testing that we do in our lab, we know that most other epoxy brands out there are within plus or minus 10 degrees on heat deflection temperature from our products here. So, just be mindful of the numbers that you see out there and make sure you're reading the right thing. This has been a quick science hit. We'll see you guys next time.